I'm going to go by it. It doesn't matter if it is, because we just need 1 hour. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Speakers okay? Okay. Just the open runs first. Yeah. $30. Yes. $10.
Welcome to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network. Today's show is broadcast live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue and brought to you by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, championship partner of Baylor Athletics. Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance online to find a local agent today. Baylor Scott and White Health, the official hospital and healthcare system of Baylor Athletics. Your healthcare, your way. HEB, the official grocer of Baylor Athletics. Proudly serving Texans since 1905. TFNB, the official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Premier.
And welcome. It's the Baylor Coaches Show live from Rudy's this evening. Thanks for being with us this evening. We've got a great hour planned. Our leadoff hitter will be in the number 1 spot tonight, Mike McGraw, Baylor men's golf coach. He will be followed by Felicia Mulkey, Baylor acrobatics and tumbling head coach. So that's our lineup tonight, men's golf and acrobatics and tumbling. The lineup on the Baylor Coaches Show, and we'll begin live from Rudy's right after this. And welcome back live from Rudy's this evening. Glad you're with us this evening. And folks, join me in welcoming our first guest this evening, Baylor's men's golf coach, Coach Mike McGraw, welcome to you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, John.
I appreciate it.
I always love being here.
You know I love you being here.
Okay.
We always have great conversations and just love the opportunity to talk about your team and the season. And this is golf weather, isn't it? Did we get you off the course early today?
You did get me off the golf course early. It was nice out there today.
It's beautiful.
Really good.
Yeah. We're going to have – you've had the cold weather. You've been through that a little bit. You know what's coming. When it gets hot, it stays hot forever. But right now is kind of that sweet spot of weather.
It is a good place to be.
Yeah. If you're listening or watching outside of Waco, it's a good time to come visit Waco. Temperatures in the mid-70s, so very, very nice. All right, how about, Mike, give us a snapshot, a capsule of your spring season to this point.
Well, so far we haven't really played very well. We've been disappointed with our performances, coaches and players alike. We've played 3 tournaments. We played in Palm Springs, Cabo, and Houston. And we actually saw some really good things the last 2 rounds at Houston. I was really happy with that. We just didn't get off to a good start. All 3 tournaments we dug a hole, so you can't do that. Mikkel, my assistant from years back, we did a statistical overview of college golf, and you can win or lose the tournament in the first round.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a real thing. So, but I feel like the last 2 rounds were great in Houston. So.
Yeah. I've heard coaches, I'm thinking of basketball, and they have said you can't win a game in the first half, but you can lose a game in the first half. It's sort of what you're saying, huh?
Well, definitely. You can dig a hole that's so deep. The problem is if you make enough bogeys, you can't make that many birdies back.
Yeah.
So if a team is playing, the teams that are leading are playing well the first round, you better keep your distance close enough where you can see them the last 2 rounds.
Yeah. So where are we in your season? You nothing this weekend. It's Easter weekend. Next weekend, the Aggie Invitational.
We go just an hour and 10 minutes down the road.
Nice and close.
The Traditions, great golf course. All of our guys except for maybe one have competed on it multiple times.
Is that the one right on campus?
No.
Okay.
No, that's the campus course that you're talking about.
Okay.
But the Traditions is a golf course that it's actually a different kind of golf course because it takes the long ball out of play. There's a lot of cross bunkers and cross hazards that you can't quite get over with a driver.
Right.
So the long hitter has to lay up as well. So a guy who doesn't hit it very far actually is sort of benefits him at that tournament.
Gotcha.
But we've always played well there, and we've always loved it.
So Aggie Invitational next week, then you go to Arizona State after that?
We do. Arizona State, in one of the best fields we'll see the whole spring, so we need to play well there. But Arizona State's one of the top 5 teams in the country on their home course. They'll be tough to beat. But there's a lot of really good teams at the event. I think all but one has competed at Papago as well, so that'll be that. And then we'll have maybe a little less than a week off after that, and then we go to the conference championship at Whispering Pines in Trinity, Texas.
Yeah, which you love, right?
Oh, I love Trinity.
Yeah, I know you do. Is that one of your favorite courses?
It is. It's probably rated the best golf course in the state of Texas, and I think that's probably a fair rating.
Yeah.
It's got everything you want, incredible green complexes, the most beautiful tall pine trees you've ever seen, plenty of room for your tee-ball. It's not like it's claustrophobic, but it's a wonderful golf course, and it's got a lot of length, so it's a long golf course.
Yeah, and not that far away, which is kind of nice.
No, a little over 2 hours down the road, 2.5 hours, yeah.
Back to Arizona State, a school that will be in the Big 12 next year. What do those new schools coming in bring to the league?
Well, Arizona and Arizona State are ranked about 5th and 18th in the country. Arizona is typically a very strong team, but Arizona State is one of those iconic programs. So I know we lost Texas and Oklahoma, which are 2 great golf programs, but I don't think we lose very much by. And then you add in schools like Houston, solid golf program, Cincinnati, great golf program. Brigham Young is always competitive. And so, I mean, we've been getting some additions that actually make the conference, I think, as strong as it was before.
Wow, that sounds good. When I think of Houston, I just think way back. I think of the Dave Williams coach days. I think of Jim Nance, being there and rooming with all these guys who went on to great pro careers. There's a lot of history at U of H, isn't there?
There is, and I'm actually, tomorrow on my podcast, I'm interviewing Jonathan Dismuke, the coach
nice.
from Houston.
Yeah.
I love talking to other coaches because I always learn something myself. But anyway, one of the questions I'll ask is, talk about taking over an iconic program, what it was like. I did the same thing at Oklahoma State, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
Because the alums, they expect you to be good.
Pretty high level.
But he does have a very good program. They're really solid, and I think they're a great addition to the Big 12.
All right, you tell him we talked about him on the Baylor
Absolutely.
Coaches Show
I'll
tonight also.
I'll tell him.
And are they their competitors, contenders every year?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're going to be. They're ranked about what we are, maybe just a little behind us right now, but he's always got solid teams. He does a little more international recruiting than I do, which is fine, but they're good.
You mentioned your podcast. We should remind people about that. And Ben, do you listen to the podcast? Okay, we'll show you how to get there. But that's a passion of yours, isn't it?
Well, it has been. It was started in COVID. Mikkel and I thought, what are we going to do to remain relevant during COVID? We didn't even know if we were going to have a fall season that year.
Yeah.
We ended up having a fall season, but in first week in August, we started this podcast called Better Than I Found It. And so I've literally interviewed people from all across the golf industry, if you will, but most of them have been coaches, but tons of tour players and a lot of – but I just feel like there's always at least one or two nuggets of wisdom that I get out of listening to my guests. And I don't want to hear my voice. I want to hear their voice. So it's been we're 192 consecutive Mondays. So
Whoa, really?
I haven't missed a Monday for 192.
Man, that's a really good streak.
That's a good streak.
That is very good. And are you the technical savant with this?
I can't even believe you asked that. No. I do have somebody that puts it together. We don't monetize it. We spent exactly $0 on it and made $0 on it.
Yeah.
It's just been for Baylor and it's been for college golf. And I think I've got not a large listenership, probably 3,000 a week or to 3,500.
I think that's really good.
Well, and in the podcast world, it's not that big, but it's very loyal. They tune in every week, and by being consistent every Monday morning at 6 a.m., they know when to find it.
Yeah.
So
when do you record?
just odd times.
Okay. You just release it at the same time on Mondays.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like to have some in the bank, but right now I'm going week to week.
Tell me about it.
It's a lot of pressure. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir,
Yeah.
I do. Well, that's great. All right, Better Than I Found It is the name of the podcast. So check that out, and it's Coach McGraw, 192 consecutive Mondays. That's a good streak you got going. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, talk about some of the guys on your team, like Johnny Kiefer. Man, is he having a great year. Want everybody to know about the successes that he has had and continues to have. So we'll do that when we come back. We are live at Rudy's this evening. Thanks to our host here at Rudy's, proud sponsor of Baylor men's golf and acrobatics and tumbling and Baylor athletics in general. Be sure to stop by your local Rudy's or Rudy's.com for some real Texas barbecue. Enjoy 100% oak smoked meats, delicious sides, and Rudy's signature sauce. Don't forget, Rudy's serves breakfast tacos every day until 10 a.m. Great to be here at Rudy's, and we'll be right back with Coach Mike McGraw right after this on the Baylor Coaches Show.
No, I'm good. The first couple of questions, I couldn't get the answer out.
That sounded great. So, we had a week at our radio station. You know about that? We got hit by lightning. The station got hit by lightning. All those electronics this week.
So just fry everything?
So that was that storm Sunday night and Monday, and they've been working all week. And just today, they got 5 different signals there. Two of them back on the air. So one of those has got baseball in there, the other one's got softball in there. So we are streaming, and that's why we're running all the breaks.
That's what I was wondering what you're doing there.
Normally they run them at the stations. We're doing everything from here. So we'll have it recorded. We'll go out on YouTube and into the Sirius XM. So it'll be a good finished product, but just a little different.
That's crazy. Is that happening very often? That almost never happens.
Not to that extent. Sometimes you get lightning hits, but I think there's a lot of safe measures in place so that it's not this bad. You must be just the wrong.
Insurance take care of every bit of it, hopefully. Yeah. By the way, Felicia was a podcast guest of mine. Yeah, she was. She did a great job. Yeah.
And back with us live from Rudy's. Thanks for being with us this evening. Thanks to our host here at Rudy's. We'll continue with Coach Mike McGraw, Baylor men's golf coach. Felicia Mulkey at the bottom of the hour, Baylor's acrobatics and tumbling head coach, who you just told me was one of your guests on your podcast.
She was a great guest on
I bet that was great.
I mean, how many people that you get to interview that actually invented their own sport?
Right.
They've won every national championship.
Right.
She's amazing.
Hello, Fog Allen, Hello, James Naismith.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's pretty good. I'm going to go back and find that one also.
You need to.
We said we'd talk about some of your players. Let's start with Johnny Kiefer. What a great career and what a great season he is having.
He's had a great season. He feels like it should be better, but champions think that way. Johnny's just been amazing to have on the golf team. This is his COVID 5th year. Mm-hmm. He's been an All-American twice, was an Arnold Palmer Cupper once, and I can't say his GPA on the air because of FERPA, but he's been an amazing student in the accounting department. So,
and we can't say that?
I don't know. I don't think he can.
Okay.
Let's just say
he's up there.
Way up there. He's been a fantastic student athlete. He trains hard. He does everything well. He's a great team leader. Man, we're going to miss him a lot when he's gone. So.
Can we say, I'm going to say it, that he's been the Big 12 Scholar Athlete of the Year for men's golf for 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row.
And may very well be this year for the third.
He's definitely a candidate for the third.
Right.
But no other golfer's ever won it 2 years in a row.
Wow.
So he's showing you can achieve at a high level in the classroom and on the course. You can do both. You don't have to be just an athlete.
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful. He's an example that I'll be using the rest of my career for sure.
How does that he's a sharp guy, obviously. How does that translate into his game? What are some aspects, that you see there?
Interestingly enough, it's actually an advantage to not be that smart to play good golf.
Okay.
It's a very unusual because you're too aware of things. When you're so detail oriented, you're really intelligent. You overthink things.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying that's the way Johnny does it, but there's sometimes ignorance is bliss in golf occasionally, but he's a thinker, so he thinks about how he should train. He thinks about how he should play the game. He's really, really good that way. But, he's just a little too smart.
Too smart. I appreciate your honesty. That's nice.
Yeah.
So Matt Roberts tells me Johnny is .03, so that'd be 3/100ths of a stroke ahead of Jimmy Walker.
Yes.
You remember Jimmy Walker for the career stroke average record at Baylor with at least 3 events left to play.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be amazing to break Jimmy's record. He's a major champion and was a great All-American golfer here as well. But he also has a chance to get the season scoring record that Cooper Dossie, whose younger two brothers, play for me. But he has the chance for that record. He's got 2 or 3 other records. I showed him the records earlier in the year, the things he probably had a chance. And Jimmy, he wanted that career average.
He did.
He definitely wanted that one. So
that's great. I mean, again, for a smart guy, to give him something to shoot for, like a goal like that, I bet that really is motivating.
He is goal-oriented, I'll tell you that. Definitely goal-oriented.
Very cool. Remember that deal we did a few years ago with Jimmy Walker up in Fort Worth?
I do.
Was it the year of or the year after he had won the PGA?
The year of.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was really fun. So Johnny Kiefer there, he could also conceivably get into the top 5 in career top 5s and career top 10s by the end of the season. Could also end the season in the top 10 in career rounds played at Baylor. So, he is doing some things nobody or very few people have ever done.
The first time I saw him and the first time he visited me, I told him, you're an All-American. I know what they look like. You are one. And so he's done that. Now we'd love for him to be a first-team All-American this year. But he wants desperately to go out on a high note. So he's doing a good job of leading the guys this year. He does all the right things. I mean, he's not the only kid I have that does the right things. We have tons of them that do. But he's obviously achieved at a higher level than all of them have. He's just been really great to have around.
Man, I love that.
Yep.
What does his future look like after Baylor?
He'll play professional golf. There's no doubt about that. He doesn't have anything else in mind.
Yeah.
I love his parents' perspective. They want him to play professional golf because that's his dream, but they'll be thrilled if he does anything that's successful. So he hasn't got any pressure to do that himself. All of it is pretty much self-motivated.
Yeah. What will that path look like? So when his Baylor career is over,
if he plays well in the last 4 or 5 tournaments we have here, he has a potential to get some PGA Tour America's status through the PGA Tour University, which was something the PGA Tour started about 4 years ago. You have to be exhausting your eligibility, and then you have to be one of the top 5 or actually top 20 players that are exhausting their eligibility that year.
Okay.
And he's on the cusp. He's right there where he could do that. And I think it's been great. The PGA Tour University has kept kids coming back to get degrees, to finish their eligibility out.
Oh, that's so great.
Instead of one and dones or getting out early, it's like they're staying around because they want that status.
Yeah.
So if he gets that, he'll have a tour to play on immediately right after the national championship.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great plan to incentivize, staying in school and making the most of your college career.
Well, the PGA Tour realized most of their stars were coming from college golf. Even a lot of the international stars came from college golf. They played, and it's like, well, they're providing these stars for us, like Jordan Spieth or Ricky Fowler, you name it, right down the line. We should probably do something, because there was no avenue to go straight from college golf to the pro ranks. You had no status. You had to go out and earn it, and which is fine to earn things, but it gave no credence to college golf. Now it gives something like, wow, that really does mean something now. It's getting me started in my pro career.
That's a great plan.
Yep.
All right, we don't want to dwell on Johnny. You got other guys on your team, Luke Morgan, Trey Bosco, those guys, David Ovar. Tell us about some of those guys individually.
Well, Luke and Trey are both fourth-year seniors, so they're going to be graduating this spring, and they both feel like that they've got more to do. They kind of both wish they had another year, I think, because, there would be one more year to get a chance to do that. Davis is a freshman, and he's really kind of turned into about our second-best player.
Wow.
He actually beat Johnny in the last event out in Houston. He played great. Davis is going to be a really fine player. He's just not a big kid. He's probably weighs 150 pounds, but he's over 6 foot.
Is that right?
He's a pretty thin kid. We're trying to put weight on him. I think when we do that, with all the other competitive skills he has, I think he'll be a great player.
Bring him to Rudy's.
Yeah, okay. You better believe it.
We come to Rudy's more often. Tell us about Zach Heffernan.
Zach is the only two-time Texas State junior champion in the last 100 years. He is really, really competitive. I haven't seen a student athlete work harder than Zach has this year in my career, and that's going 36 years. Yeah. He's up at the facility every morning. I'm not asking him to be there. He is. He gets a workout in. He will then practice until he goes to class. He'll come back. He's been one of the most dedicated, motivated, single-minded student athletes I've seen in many, many years. He's probably wanting it too bad a little bit right now, so we're trying to get him to back off from just kind of enjoy it. But I can't believe the work ethic has been phenomenal.
Wow.
Yeah.
What year is Zach?
He is a junior.
Okay, very good. Anybody else we should mention individually?
As far as individual finishes, we haven't had that many high ones, and that's kind of shown up in the team score.
Right.
So, but I have a bunch of kids doing all the right things, and they're getting better. So we are now trying to figure out who's going to be in postseason. So we'll go through that the next week or so.
All right, very good. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we've got some questions from the audience for you. Gail gave us a sheet worth of questions, so we'll get to those and get to your questions for Coach Mike McGraw, Baylor men's golf coach. We are brought to you in part by TFNB. TFNB, your bank for life, the official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Central Texans are making TFNB their bank for life by stopping by any one of their 5 locations or visiting tfnbtx.com and Sikkim Bears. Back with Coach Mike McGraw talking Baylor men's golf right after this on the Baylor Coaches Show, live from Rudy's.
I wouldn't feel bad about you talking that much about Johnny this time because, nobody else has really done much. Davis has done something. Yeah. Everybody else has been in and out. But I wanted to say something about Zach. I've never seen anything like him today. He wants it too bad. Really? Yeah. I've never seen a kid want it this bad. He wants to play golf professionally. Yeah. His first year just going through the motions. It was embarrassing. I came home from Cabo. Yeah. So we were 11, 12 months ago. 13 months ago. He was furious. Yeah. And so he went to his instructor, Ryan Gathright, in San Antonio. I'm so mad at Coach. So he listened. He said, something to me, you've got a problem. Yeah, I know it, but he said, no, your problem is you're not giving him a reason to take you on the risk. You don't leave him the reason not to take you. You need to work and flip. I said the same thing to him, but it came from somebody else. Yeah. I've never seen him like that. Nobody on the stage. Charles Howell. That's saying a lot. Now, he's not as talented as they are, but he's talented. Yeah. back off a little bit and just take a deep breath. Yeah. He's going to be great.
What's the key to that? I mean, how do you
Encouraging him to continue to do that. I don't know if he will or not. So what do you favor to win the Masters? That'll be easy.
That's good.
Good question, Steve.
Good one, Steve.
Good question.
Ben, you don't have any questions? Ben.
No question tonight, Ben. Ben, you
got all
won a
the
match today. That's big.
And back with us live from Rudy's this evening. Thanks for being with us, those of you here at Rudy's on the Circle in Waco, those of you tuned in watching our live stream on the Baylor Athletics Facebook and YouTube pages. We continue with Coach Mike McGraw, Baylor men's golf coach. Coach, time for our questions from the audience. First Place Foods, Ask the Coach. First Place Foods, that's a darn good pickle. And let's start with Gail. Gail came prepared. I think she had these questions. You did these ahead of time, right? And came with them in hand. So well done on being prepared. First question from Gail is, are spectators permitted to follow the golfers on the course during a match?
The answer is yes, and it's the greatest spectator sport in the world because you're walking alongside the players.
Yeah.
You're hearing what the coaches are saying to the players. I mean, you're literally right there with them. You're not separated from them. You're walking the fairways with them almost. It's the greatest spectator sport if you like golf. I guess if you didn't like golf, it wouldn't be very good.
Very good. So there's your answer. It is yes. Back to Jimmy Walker. Mm-hmm. I've been to the Masters in Augusta once, and it was a practice day. It was a Monday, so it would have been the first practice day. And my whole goal there was to find Jimmy Walker, Baylor guy. And so we kind of got his schedule, and we staked him out, and we went and followed him one hole, and he's walking off the green, walking right by us. And I say, "Sick 'em, Jimmy." And it was like zoom, like laser focus. He didn't react one bit, even on a practice round.
He was playing pretty good at that time.
Yes, he was. Yeah. So he doesn't want to mess with anybody like me, right?
Well, probably.
Or anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, speaking of, here's our next question from Steve Van Wagner. Steve says, who do you favor to win the Masters this year?
Steve, I'm going to go with a real easy one here. Scotty Scheffler. Scotty's trying to figure out putting. He's the best ball striker since Tiger Woods, and no one else is close. And that golf course, if you're a great ball striker, you're going to be in the game. But he just needs to have a good putting week. Scotty will win if he has a good putting week.
There you go. From a guy who knows. Very good. How many times have you been to Augusta?
I've just been 3 times.
Really?
Yep.
So, played there?
No, I've never played it. I don't think my game's for public consumption anymore. But, no, I haven't played the Augusta.
Would there ever be any opportunities to play there?
I've had an opportunity or two.
Have you?
Passed it up.
Yeah.
I always said when I was a kid I won't go and play it until I'm actually playing in the tournament.
Until you're in the
Masters.
That
was a dumb thing to say.
Right. Well, it is historic. All right, another question from Gail, and this is a good one. Is there a strategy to putting a golf lineup together? Is your best golfer always in the number 1 spot, or do you save him for the 5th spot in case it comes down to that last hole?
Great question. It's not like tennis where you're required to put your players in the correct area. Golf, you can put them anywhere you want, but our guys want to be the number 1 man. But how do we get our lineup together each week? It comes through qualifying rounds. It comes through coaches' picks, and apparently I'm not doing a very good job of it this year. So what you don't want is a revolving door in the 5th spot. You don't want that, and we've had that this year, which is not good. You want somebody – I tell the kids, you're feeling pressure in the tournament, turn that pressure into opportunity, and you've got it. It's like if you look at it as pressure, you're not trying to do it. And opportunity is something you can go grab. Well, in the qualifying, you put the carrot out there. Here's the travel spot. Mm-hmm. That's the carrot. Mm-hmm. And guys go out and earn that, and they're real excited about that. But if they get to the tournament and just try to protect that, you're not getting anywhere. The next carrot should be how to win or compete to win or whatever. So I think to set up your lineup, ultimately this time of year it needs to be pretty much coaches' picks, because we're going into the postseason in the next 2 or 3 weeks. But it's a little bit different every year. The best team I've had at Baylor had the same lineup in the first tournament in September all the way through in the national championship.
That's ideal, isn't it?
Same 5 guys, never changed the lineup. Yeah. So that would be ideal if you could do it. 5 guys, averaging 68. Yes or no, sir, make straight A's in class.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Very good. Gail, good questions. Thank you very much. And great answers from Coach McGraw. How about the competition inside the team, to get that fifth spot or to get a spot?
Well, that's an interesting thing you bring up, the competition. What you don't want is two guys trying to get the fifth spot, and they're just looking at each other. And my 74 beats your 75, I get to travel. That's not what you want. You want guys going out and trying to literally raise the bar and do something special. So it gets a little cumbersome. Sometimes I've taken the two guys that are in competition for that last spot and put them in different groups. So they didn't even know what the other guy was doing. Just go shoot the lowest score.
Yeah.
Ultimately, if you play well and shoot low scores, everything just works out in life.
Yeah.
But if you don't, you're upset at the coach, you're upset at yourself, a lot of things you're upset about.
That never happens.
Never happens.
Well, thank you for being here. Good luck the remainder of the season. Always appreciate your time and appreciate you being with us. And thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, Coach Mike McGraw, Baylor men's golf coach with us. Be at the Aggie Invitational, not this week, but next, then to Arizona State, then on to the Big 12s down at Whispering Pines. Take a break. When we come back, Coach Felicia Mulkey will join us, Baylor acrobatics and tumbling head coach. Got a built-in audience, and we'll hear from Coach Fee when we come back. It's the Baylor Coaches Show live from Rudy's, and we'll continue live from Rudy's right after this. Good luck. Happy Easter. Yep. Oh, perfect. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Hey, we're a little bit different tonight. The radio station got hit by lightning.
Oh, no.
They've been off the air all week until today. They got 2 signals on the air today. We got baseball and softball there. So this one is on YouTube and Facebook, streaming. So we're running the breaks from here and everything. And so I'm just a little afraid of talking.
Sure, I got it. Okay. Sounds good.
Hey, it was great.
I watched it the other night. She's good. Isn't she a cutie?
Adam said she was kind of quiet.
Yeah.
I said she had no deal.
Yeah.
I think she was great.
Yeah, she seemed nervous, but she's a good kid. And a better human. She's just such a good kid. So let's be careful with the questions. I don't have mine.
Oh, yeah.
No, but I don't. From the season, what team are you most excited to see at the championship? I'm just making sure because I know they're setting me up, and I'm not giving the answer they want at the right time.
Yes, please. If you don't mind. Could I have a turkey sandwich and barbecue chips? Thank you.
Yeah, all of these are okay. No, I just ate. Thank you.
No drink or anything?
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
Drink?
Back on the Baylor Coaches Show, let's give you our Baylor Scott and White Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics health tip for the week. Don't let pain slow you down. We diagnose and treat sports-related injuries and provide orthopedic services for athletes and non-athletes alike. Visit a Baylor Scott and White Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Specialist and move like you used to. And folks, join me in welcoming Baylor's acrobatics and tumbling head coach Felicia Mulkey.
Yay!
Welcome to you.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here.
Appreciate you being here. What a lineup. Mike McGraw to Felicia Mulkey. This is great. And a good number of your team is here. We appreciate you all being here.
Yeah.
You know who was here earlier today when we were here setting up? The Fresno State equestrian team.
Okay.
Because Baylor is hosting the Big 12 Equestrian Championships. And I said, you can stick around for the show if you'd like. And they said, so they're gone. But you filled in with your team, which is great.
Yes, we travel in a pack usually. So.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like it. So what's the number now? 34 consecutive victories?
I don't know.
Madeline? 34 consecutive victories.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you Probably you don't know
I
that.
pay no attention.
Not
yeah.
top of
No,
mind, right?
No.
Just go out and win each competition.
That's right, yeah.
Most recently in Sioux Falls, South Dakota against Augustana. How was that?
It was fun. That was my maiden voyage to South Dakota. So
Right.
it's cold up there. I was happy to be back to the sunshine down here. So it was
Yes.
fun.
Very good. And I know you've told us before you like your team to, it's kind of like a blank canvas when you start the year and then you start filling in and the colors and everything. By this time of year, are you seeing the upward trajectory you would like?
We talked about that the other day. I didn't think we had plateaued, but they were acting like we had plateaued. So my team is very good. If you make them aware of something, they will change it. So we talked about how we were trending, and they are now trending upward. I think you just make them aware of it. We weren't. Everybody thinks my team is super cocky, and they think that we're going to win. We think we're going to win every meet. That's not how we operate at all. Very humble, hardworking group of kiddos. So just reminded them that we need to not get comfortable. We have to keep moving. And today, I just came from practice. We all came from practice. We got a new 10 pass today, a pass that starts at a 10. Randomly, we thought we were having a bad tumbling day, and then they started pushing themselves, and all of these things started showing up. So we're better today than we were last week. So I can't wait to see what we do in the next couple weeks, before the championship.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah.
That's good. How about the trip to New York? You went up there and faced off with a couple of new programs.
Yes, Iona and Long Island University.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great. Doing great. Both of those programs are going to be ones to watch coming down the pipe. And even since we've played Iona, Jackie Eshelman is the head coach there. She's done a phenomenal job, and they have continued to trend upward. So I think they may come down and see us next year at home, and that'll be a great matchup because she's a great coach, a great recruiter, and I'm excited for the future of her program.
Good. Did you, on a two-meet swing to New York, just see the sights at all?
We got to go into the city on a Monday.
Okay.
So we had
How was that?
a meet on Sunday, a meet on Tuesday. I had a blast. I had not been into New York City, so I don't know if they had fun, but I had a blast. We got to go to Times Square. We had a great lunch and got to go down to Times Square, and Bailey and Jordan did some acro in Times Square.
I
You
saw
on
that.
social
Fantastic.
media.
In Times Square.
Yeah,
I
it
love
was
it.
really fun. And then we went over to the Met and got to walk around there for a little bit.
You had never been?
I'd been to New York, but not to New York City. So that
Right,
was also
right.
my maiden voyage. Look at me, just all these new places this year.
There's a lot of bright lights there,
Yes.
Yeah. Literally and figuratively. And you won both of those, so that's great. And you keep running into your former assistants or former student athletes coaching all these programs.
Yeah, so at Augustana, Kaylin Cowan is a former athlete here at Baylor. And then let's see, Jackie Eshelman was on my team at Oregon. She traveled with me to Oregon from Kennesaw State, where I coached before. And then Shelby Armstrong was the coach at LIU, and she was on my team at Oregon. We saw UMHB. Rafi Scotto as a Baylor Bear. And who am I missing? There has to be another one. Gannon University.
Gannon.
Yeah, Gannon. Is that all of them? Oh, and TLU, yeah. So Texas Lutheran is Cam Bryant.
Yeah.
And it's been fun.
Is that fun for you?
It is fun, and it's exciting for me to see them playing out their passion, on the sideline.
Right.
And if you go and ever watch a TLU meet or anywhere Cam Bryant is, she is always playing out her passion. She's more energetic than anything going on the floor, but it's fun to watch them do their thing. I'm really proud of them.
I think Madeline tells us the only school you've gone up against this year that is not coached by one of your former assistants or student athletes is Oregon, because you were gone from Oregon before
Yes.
Taylor got there.
Yeah, I recruited Taylor to
Okay.
Oregon, and then I left and
Yeah.
came down here.
Yeah, very good. How about give us an update on the state of acrobatics and tumbling, where you are, where you're headed, number of schools, those things.
We are currently at 56 universities. I think we're still at 56. How awesome is it that there's so many that I lose count now?
Right.
So that's great. But we're currently at 56. This year, what should happen during this competitive season, 40 schools, at least 40 of those schools should be competing in a full season. When that happens, that kickstarts NCAA legislation that would then put us forward for a vote to be a championship sport. So I get this question all the time, and somebody actually commented on my social media the other day, I can't wait until this is an NCAA sport. It is already an NCAA sport. We count in sports sponsorships. We're just considered an emerging sport. We will be a championship sport after this legislative cycle with the NCAA. So it's no longer a matter of if, it's simply when.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to be fun. And nothing really will change in the sport other than the championship will have, our trophy will have a blue dot on it.
Yeah,
And I mean, that's okay.
Yeah.
I like the ones I have right now too, but I'll take that blue dot.
And you got a lot of those. Like 8 straight national championships for Baylor Acrobatics and Tumbling. That is terrific. And working on number 9 this year. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, part of the show, as you know, is questions from the audience. It is the First Place Foods Ask the Coach. First Place Foods.
That's a darn good pickle.
Yes, it is.
My
And
favorite.
we've got some great questions from the audience. Some of them from that table right over there, okay? So
No doubt.
yes, so we'll get to those when we come back. We are live at Rudy's on the Baylor Coaches Show. We'll continue with Coach Felicia Mulkey, Acrobatics and Tumbling, right after this.
Shayla just left last night for Phuket, Thailand, to compete for Team USA. Yeah.
What is that?
It is. Madeline, do you know the details on Shayla's weightlifting thing?
Weightlifting, right? Weightlifting?
Yeah, it's powerlifting, but it's Team U. She's competing on behalf of the Team USA.
Powerlifting?
Yeah, powerlifting, I think, and it's in Phuket, Thailand. So she left this morning. Yeah. I can't. Now this one I can't see. This one seems like a serious one. What does that one say?
My grandson Robert is a sophomore at Baylor. He can tumble. Can he make the team?
Oh, that's cute. Oh, Felix.
Felix says, when do you expect the team to make another appearance in Hawaii?
Yeah.
And Gail right back there, she gave us
Oh, she thought it through. Okay.
We'll hit the highlights of those.
Okay. I like it.
Welcome back on the Baylor Coaches Show, live from Rudy's. We are brought to you in part by the Baylor Club. Hey, Baylor fans, discover the perfect venue for your next event at the Baylor Club, situated in the heart of the action at McLean Stadium. Whether it's a wedding fundraiser or a corporate event, they've got the gourmet dining and views to make it memorable. Check it out, thebaylorclub.com. Give them a call, 254-710-8080 for the Baylor Club at McLean Stadium. All right, with Coach Felicia Mulkey, we've got questions from the audience. Our First Place Foods Ask the Coach. First Place Foods.
That's a darn good pickle.
That's exactly right. And do we have questions for you? Here is a page. Look, this is a page full of questions from
that.
Gail.
Yes,
we,
Gail.
It's only an hour show, so we may not get to all of them, but maybe you can talk to Gail
Yeah.
afterward and
We'll
answer her
definitely do
questions.
that.
Let's hit the high points.
Okay.
These are good. Do you use a trampoline at all for training?
Right now, we do not because we don't have one. But in our new facility, we will have a tumble track. Where we'll be able to use that. So excited for just new skills, new training techniques, etc. So this new facility, I'm excited.
Very good.
Yes.
New facility,
Yes, I'm
meaning
gonna say it again.
Farrell Center. You're
Yeah.
going to move in.
You guys don't think it's new, but trust me, it is new to me.
Oh,
So,
it's
yes.
great.
So May or June, I think we get to move offices over,
Yeah.
depending on how quickly I can kick Coach Drew out of his office,
Right.
and they can repaint and whatnot. But yeah, pretty soon.
Will you let me know, and I will help you move?
Okay, I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
That's a big deal.
I'm probably going to cry. I am. I'm going to cry. Be ready for it.
All right, here's another question from Gail. Is there a collegiate code of points for difficulty? NCATA.
Yes. So we have a code of points that we put together and has been evolving over the last 15 years that covers everything in the sport. We also have a start value system where coaches can actually plug in the skills that they're doing, which will then spit out a start value for you. And it is based on the risk, the level of risk you're taking. and the difficulty of the skill, that continues to evolve. So if you look at our sport from 10 years ago and look at it now, the skills have changed, and some things that used to score a 10 no longer score a 10 because they've just simply become too easy. So it's fun to see how far we've come.
Good. I know y'all push the boundary there, the new ones, the ring, the pencil, those. Are there other schools that are pushing the limits like that, or is it just Baylor?
Nah, it's just Baylor.
All right. It's kind of what I thought.
I think they're going to try, but come on.
Right. That's what I thought. All right, here we go from Ben Hagens. Ben is right here. Ben says, tongue-in-cheek, my grandson Robert is a sophomore at Baylor. He can tumble. Can he make your team?
It is a female sport, so he wouldn't be able to make the team. But we will be hiring student managers next year. So, I mean, if he wants to be around some amazing humans, he can apply for that.
There you go. Yeah. All right, good question. Roy is right here, front and center. Roy says, has the transfer portal affected A&T?
I think that it has at other schools. It has not affected us yet. But we see it kind of growing. I know Iona, who is a new program, she built her team in about 6 months, and probably half of them through the transfer portal, and then half, a few from on campus, and then some incoming freshmen. So I think it is benefiting our sport right now. I don't see the negative effects that other sports are seeing yet. I know, just in and out all the time. I hope they're happy here, so I'm going to try to keep them. But
I can't see a scenario where someone would leave here, I don't think, but could see a scenario with a lot of student athletes wanting to come here.
And we have had that. We have not taken advantage of that yet. It just hasn't been the right fit. There's been some great humans and great athletes. It just hasn't been a right fit. And I'm not opposed to that. I just don't want any of my kiddos in that transfer portal. They need to stay with me.
I hear you.
Yep.
All right, here's a question from Mo. Mo says, what team are you most excited to see at the championship?
I think I'm excited for the championship, period. I think that Oregon has continued to improve, so we'll see them this next weekend. They've continued to improve, so that's going to be a great, depending on where we end up in the bracket, that'll be fun. Gannon University, I think they saw us. People, if you guys haven't heard of Gannon, we missed you that meet, by the way.
I missed it.
But they're good. And they were really, gave us a run for our money, and I think they're improving. And people don't realize they saw us at the end of a really busy week. They competed on Monday and then came and saw us. We're a little beat up. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do by the end of the year. I think Oregon and Gannon have a really good shot. I don't know what side of the bracket they're going to be on, but I'd be excited to see both of those teams.
All right, very good. Madeline tells us a new poll is out, new rankings this week, just yesterday. Baylor's number 1. Oregon dropped to 3. Quinnipiac is actually number 2 in the rankings this week.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that just yet. I think Gannon will see Quinnipiac the day after that we see them, I think. I don't know which day. And I think that's going to be telling.
I got you.
When that one comes. But I do believe as far as the scores are right now, that is the appropriate ranking. But everyone hasn't seen everyone yet.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. We were just discussing, I think, that Gannon meet against Quinnipiac will be on when we get on the bus headed back home after the Oregon meet. So that'll be a really fun one. But, yeah, that'll be telling to see.
And the NCATA National Championships are in West Virginia this year.
They are,
correct?
At Fairmont State.
Fairmont State. Mm-hmm. Good memories of Fairmont?
I do, yes. Yeah. That was the very first championship as a Baylor coach.
Yeah.
The very first time we were there. So, yeah, I'm excited to go back. Haven't been there. I don't think I've been back since then.
Oh, really?
We've even been during a regular season.
Huh, okay. All right, here's a question from Felix the Cat. Felix says, when do you expect the team to make another appearance in Hawaii?
Oh, how funny is that?
How funny is that? Felix wants to go back to Hawaii.
I know.
Anybody else want to go to Hawaii? Yeah.
I bet they do. That was, a fun trip. Before we went on that trip, I was like, I hate this trip, you guys. It's so long.
Right.
It's not. I go with my girlfriends. It's not relaxing for me to be in charge of other people's humans there. And the team that we took there was awesome. I really, really enjoyed myself. So I would not be opposed to another trip to Hawaii with the group of humans that I work with now. Now, it's expensive, so we're going to have to raise some money to go. But I would take these kiddos anywhere.
Nice. Very good. There's your answer. All right, here's – they're all writing it down in ink. Here's a question. Don't know who it's from. What are your thoughts on the rankings? Oh, we just talked about that. They came out yesterday. Sorry, I jumped your question. And you've answered that.
I did.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a question from Zay.
Yay, Zay.
What is Lilybug's favorite color?
Okay. Lilybug's favorite color is pink. It's pink. She has a little jacket, Zay, that is a pink jacket. And remind me to tell you the story. She almost ran away yesterday. And I had to save her. Yes, I caught her hitchhiking to Austin. I had to go get her.
Oh, no.
Not really.
Lilybug, pink. Very good. Final question. What has been your favorite moment from this season?
Winning toss event against Gannon, 100% so far. I mean, there's been so many fun times because this team's so awesome, but Gannon is a toss team, and they have been for a few years, and it's just not our strength. We're a tumbling team. We're an acro team, and they worked so hard and got some new tosses and then cleaned up the ones that we had. And we won toss event and I celebrated. I always tell them, like, I usually don't celebrate with them because my joy is watching them celebrate with one another. Not that I don't care, but I just really enjoy watching them celebrate one another. I was in the middle of the huddle, jumping around, leading it, kind of peed my pants. So, so there you have it. Sorry, you guys that are eating. But anyway, it happened. But yeah, that was my favorite time, and there's way too many more. I'd have to write them all down.
That's great. That's a good, very good memory. All right, First Place Foods, ask the coach. First Place Foods.
That is a darn
good pickle. And we've got a tub of these pickles. I gave them to you last time.
Yeah.
Can we give them to Gail tonight?
I think Gail
with a sheet of
these,
questions. So, Gail, don't wait. Coach Mulkey will bring these to you when we're finished, okay? Thanks to First Place Foods, Hunn's Private Stock Pickles. That's a darn good pickle. All right, take a break, come back, and wrap things up with Coach Felicia Mulkey talking Baylor acrobatics and tumbling. Live from Rudy's on the Baylor Coaches Show.
What do we need?
I have to hit the break. There's no break.
I have a question I didn't write down. Who comes up with the routines or the special stuff?
We kind of work together on it. Like Bailey and Jordan will always have ideas because they both did acrobatic gymnastics. So they'll have ideas like, ooh, can we try this? And then we work together to put the sequence together. Yeah.
What you come up with is
You're doing great. Like producing everything.
It's working. Glad it's working. So you got Oregon left, and that's it?
And that's it in the regular season, Then we leave for the tournament. So and they have gotten a lot better and have other strong values. I don't think they have the execution, but this next meet will be close and good, which is awesome. Like, it's not fun to beat up on people. And they get up for the challenge, So I mean, I'm never going to try to lose, but I mean, But we are much better than Oregon. They've improved quite a bit. Quinnipiac beat Oregon the other day in by 2 100ths of a point or something.
That close?
Yeah, and it's really nasty. That's why they were trying to get me to say something about Quinnipiac. I knew what they were doing because it's just really nasty and political and gross. So normal, but.
Gotcha. Got a back time in my mind, too. Back live from Rudy's, and thanks again to our hosts here at Rudy's. Always love it on a Thursday evening. Thank you very much. Y'all are great to us, and love coming to Rudy's for our Baylor Coaches Show. Continuing with Felicia Mulkey, Baylor Acrobatics and Tumbling head coach, who just recently passed a milestone, your 90th victory.
I had
90, steaming toward 100 right around the corner.
90 here. I didn't think I was that old. And how long have I been here? No, they told me after that meet against Gannon, and I was like, really? I had no idea. But yeah, kind of cool, I guess.
So you've been here. You've won 8 straight national championships. There was the COVID year, so that was 9. Is this her 10th year?
This is my 10th year.
10th year here, right?
Yeah.
And 90 wins, so that's
pretty good, yeah.
That is very, very good. Next is Oregon. That is April 5th. You go out there. There's a really good, head-to-head rivalry, Baylor and Oregon.
Yeah, you see 2 different teams when our teams go against each other. They really, get up, for each other. And Oregon looks great. They've made a lot of improvements. They've improved start values. So it's really going to come down to us and execution, which I think we're ready for it. We've had some great practices. And our team is hungry. People don't think that they are because they win all the time, but they're hungry. So they just want to go out and prove themselves every time. That's going to be a fun meet. It is not on – you're not there doing, the play-by-play or whatnot. So it's not as good as our broadcast. But they do have a broadcast if you guys want to watch it. I think it's on the Pac-12 network.
Pac-12?
You can link on their website, and it'll be a great meet to watch if you want to see it. I think, is it Friday night? I don't know what time it is.
April 5th is a Friday.
It's a Friday evening at 6 their time, which would be 8 our time.
Yeah, very good. How do you cultivate and encourage that hunger by your team? Always wanting to improve, always wanting to get better.
I think it's just our culture, and they are incredibly humble. I don't think anybody realizes that until you're around them. And then I'm their biggest critic. I'm also their biggest cheerleader. But if they're not doing something well, we tell them, and we just try to create that. I think it's magic. Like we just create it within our team, and they push each other, and push themselves. But you got to stop by practice. You should all stop by practice sometimes and take a look at how hard they work, because when you guys see them at meets, they make it look so easy, and it is not that easy.
All right, so practice right now is still in Mars McLean Gym.
It is.
Middle of campus. In like 2 months, 3 months, you'll be moving to the Farrell Center.
Yes.
What's going to happen? What are the pluses when you've moved into the new spot?
Parking.
Yeah,
Parking
true.
is one. No, I think, we'll have this facility to ourselves. If you ask the team, they're going to say, we don't have to pull the mats up every time.
Yeah.
So we will have this facility just to ourselves. We'll be able to have the tumble track. We'll be able to have all of this different equipment so that we can train even better than we're training now. So that's a plus. And then the other thing, we're right now pigeonholed into 2.5 hours, and that's the only thing. So if you have class during that 2.5 hours, Zoe Collins is a senior. She comes in on Thursday from 2:30 to 3:15, leaves, goes to class, comes back at 4:45, gets reps on the front end, reps on the back end. And she's not the only, athlete that does that. So when we are in the new facility, we'll have it 24/7. So we can take a look at Zoe's class and her acro partner and bring them in at different times during the day. It'll be more efficient, and then we're going to be able to work in smaller groups and give more individualized attention. So we're going to be better than we are now.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for you. That you get that space and you can stretch out a little bit, everything. So people say, what's happening to the Farrell Center? I said, well, it's going to be the home of acrobatics and tumbling and volleyball.
Yeah.
So that'll be really cool for y'all. Thanks for being here. Good luck against Oregon. Get that win, and then good luck at the national championships later in April.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Felicia Mulkey, head coach, Baylor Acrobatics and Tumbling. The 8-time defending NCATA national champs. Take a break, come back, and wrap things up right after this.
I will give him the go. You want me to deliver? Hey, thanks, Sean.
Thanks, great job, thank you. See you later.
Next time I won't be as tight.
Any progress with your contacts?
Yes. The day we were on the road, I put them both in within 30 seconds.
Whoa, there you go.
Now I'm just too lazy to try because I'm so tired and whatever.
Thanks. Give a pen. That's okay. Fee, here's these from Gail. She wants you to answer any more of those. 3-1-13. 47. And back with just enough time to wrap things up on the Baylor Coaches Show tonight. Thanks to Coach Mike McGraw, who was with us first. Thanks to Felicia Mulkey, who just concluded with us. We'll be back next Thursday, 6 p.m. Central Time here from Rudy's for our next Baylor Coaches Show. Mention Baylor Baseball opening a series tonight, right now, at Baylor Ballpark against Cincinnati. Softball opening a series against Iowa State at Getterman Stadium, and Baylor Equestrian hosting the Big 12 Championships. That is beginning tomorrow at the Willis Family Equestrian Center. So a lot going on this weekend, and it is Easter weekend, and we wish nothing but God's blessings on you on this Easter weekend. Be safe out there, and we do appreciate you being with us tonight, and we'll be back next week with another edition of the Baylor Coaches Show, live from Rudy's. Worked, Bobby.
Okay, buddy. Probably went smoother than it would have been if it was on the radio.
Maybe.